brand new champions. Tonight on Our News Live at 7, the 2025 Junior Junk Canoe Parade in the history books, with new winners across every division. Scenes from last night's spectacle as 30 schools lit up Bay Street. But first, on the other side of the law, 4 officers get their day in court, accused of extorting money from a suspect in a $1 million armored car theft. Find out how they pleaded. Plus, months of debate and mounting pressure from a key opposition senator calling for a bill that criminalizes marital rape. But will political affairs stall government's next move? Then in our news at 7:30, a beloved Camp Road community safe haven is gone as residents left reeling. Tonight, we hear from stunned witnesses and the center's devastated manager. These stories and more as Our News Live at 7 starts now. Welcome to Our News Live at 7. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Megan Shepard. Prosecutors are accusing 4 policemen of trying to extort money from a man accused of stealing $1.475 million from an armored car. Corporal Chavez Sawyer, Constable Benson Miller, Sergeant Nelson Miller, and Sergeant D'Angelo Roll are accused of demanding money from Akil Holmes on November 3, 2023. The men denied the allegations at their arraignments before Assistant Chief Magistrate Cara Turnquest DeVoe. Bail was set at $80,000 each, and their trial is set for April. The officers have been suspended from duty pending the outcome of the case. And police have launched a murder investigation after a double shooting ended in tragedy. The deadly shooting happened in the Pastel Gardens community around 6:30 p.m. on Thursday. That's when the victims were ambushed outside a home on Peach Street by passengers of a silver Japanese model vehicle. Investigators say the gunman, once inside, opened fire. The 27-year-old man and a 26-year-old were taken to the hospital, where the male victim died in hospital. Meantime, Senator Michaela Barnett Ellis is urging government to introduce legislation criminalizing marital rape, an issue that sparked months of debate among officials, church leaders, and the public. Her plea follows comments by Attorney General Ryan Pinder, who said he doubts the Davis administration will move forward, reportedly fearing it could lose votes in the next election. A disappointed Barnett Ellis insists government must protect its most vulnerable citizens.
I'm going to have to quote Magistrate Jean-Marie Darville, who said, bring the legislation. We will work out the kinks because the law is a living body. We see amendments on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. If the law doesn't work, then we can make amendments, but we won't know whether it works until we bring the legislation. We need an administration with the courage to protect women, wives who are in that situation and are raped by their husbands, have non-consensual or forced to have non-consensual sex with their husbands.
All right, well, by now, we're sure you've seen multiple lots of land cleared down around the island, seemingly all at once. The bulldozing of huge acres of trees and green space raising questions amongst residents. Speaking on the sidelines of Junior Junk Canoe last night, State Minister for Urban Renewal and Housing, Lisa Ramming, says it was time for government to step in. She's also sharing the number of projects that are underway.
We're doing the Clear, Hold, and Build initiative, which means that we're going into the community, clearing down properties, holding them unless an owner comes forward. Angleton right now has 40 properties that are being cleared down. Even in Marathon, properties are being cleared down, and in the other outskirts.
Now, our Berthany McDermott shares with us the possible environmental impact this could have on us in our 7:30 p.m. newscast. But Ramming says the intent is not only to clear and hold land, but to transform the land into something that will benefit residents.
Our Honorable Keith Bell has came up with the great initiative that we're going to build homes in the various areas. Residents who they want their home, but they don't want to move out the community that they're in. Well, we're looking forward to bring home ownership into their community.
And government officials, diplomats, and the future of the Bahamian Foreign Service gathered at the Goodmans Bay Corporate Center last night for the official naming ceremony for the Bahamas Al Ray Ramsey Institute of Foreign Affairs. Our Marlena Leonard was there.
This is a bittersweet moment for us We're so proud of Alray and all that he's accomplished, his love for foreign service, and his commitment to the Bahamas. And we wish he was here to see this. But we're so proud of him.
The institute training future Bahamian Foreign Service officers was officially named the Bahamas Alray Ramsey Institute of Foreign Affairs last night. Ramsey and Dr. Blair John, who was a student at St. Mary's University, were pulled from the River Po in Turin, Italy on June 4th and 5th, 2019, after the men had been missing for several days. An autopsy said their deaths were likely the result of accidental drowning, but the circumstances reported by Italian authorities have been criticized. Prime Minister Philip Davis was one of the attendees last night.
His passing was not just a loss to the Bahamas, it was a loss to the world of diplomacy. This institute is his legacy, and it must stand as a testament to the values he upheld: courage, intelligence, and an unshakable belief in our nation's sovereignty.
But Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell said there was initially some pushback at the choice.
The question was asked in the House of Assembly, why not somebody who's more mature and has given service? And there is a role for more mature people, but I said, Alray went to a church which is called St. Agnes. St. Agnes was a martyr, I believe, at the age of 14. And that tells you that you don't have to be of advanced age to give service to your country, nor be recognized by your country.
After unveiling the official Bahamas Alray Ramsey Institute of Foreign Affairs plaque, officials spoke to the newest Barifa cohort, the third to move on from the institute.
I don't think in his wildest dreams he would have thought that there would have been an institute established in his name. I think that way surpassed what he had planned for his legacy. But Alray, this is for you. We love you.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Marlena Leonard.
Thanks so much, Marlena. Students of more than 30 schools headed to Bay last night to participate in this year's Junior Junkanoo Parade. Students of all ages put on a performance to remember. And this year, new champions were crowned across all of the divisions. Our Joshua Williams was there for all of the excitement and brings us this fun recap. Take a look.
Hundreds of students got their time to shine last night as they took over Bay Street for the annual Junior Junkanoo Parade. It was excitement from the start as 6 preschools took over Bay, showcasing Bahamian culture. From nursery rhymes to adventures under the sea, the toddlers kicked off Bay with energy. But it was refreshing for Kids Developmental Center, who had story time for fans. They won the preschool division. Then it was on to the primary division, where 7 schools wowed the crowds with their advanced choreography and music skills, celebrating our festivals and even taking a stroll down Sesame Street. The newly named Judith P. Thompson, formerly known as Centerville Primary, took us back to our African roots that won the primary division. The junior division did not disappoint. While there were only 3 schools, they all brought the thunder, with C.H. Reeves bringing the Lucayans back to life to win that division. Next, the much-anticipated all-age category saw a battle between St. John's College, Lifer Key International School, and Jordan Prince William School. The Giants using toys and more to get them a close victory over LCIS. Finally, as the clock struck 10, it was the heavyweight senior schools coming out the gate. The older students giving us sweet treats while taking us to a night at the ball. But it was C.R. Walker's trip around the world that won them the senior crown. Now, I also talked to some of the residents and fans here in the crowded Junior Junkanoo who shared with me their excitement for this year's parade.
Man, the primary division, the preschool division was awesome. It's extremely positive for kids to be out here to see doing good things in the community. Our culture speaks volumes to unity.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
Definitely looks like an exciting evening. Thanks so much, Josh. Well, we've still got lots more to share with you tonight, but first, meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center with a look at temperatures. Happy Friday, Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Megan, and a happy Friday, everybody. Beautiful conditions around the islands today. That is a good way to end January, first month of the year. 74 degrees is our current temperature outside our studios. East-southeast winds at 50 miles per hour. Slight breeze out there. Your field-state temperature is at 73. Temperatures around the islands right now, it's 74 in Freeport, Marsh Harbor, Abaco, Alistown, Bimini, and here in the capital. Nichols, San Andres, the Big Yard, pick up 75 there, 75 also in Great Harbor Key and in Governor's Harbor. 76, Kemps Bay, Georgetown, Deadman's Key, Arthurstown, Cat Island, 74, Coburn Town, San Salvador, 75, and into the southeast Bahamas. 78 in Duncantown, Ragged Island, Colonel Hill, Cricket Island, and Delectable Bay, a pair of 76s there. 77 in Abrahams Bay, Providencial is 77. Matthew Down in Agua, Deep South, you guys are 78 at this hour. Satellite radar composite, quiet across area. High pressure is in charge. That high continuing to dominate our weather with some dry conditions. Not much in terms of any clouds or any precipitation, but that high will slide out towards the east, weakening, so our winds are starting to fall off somewhat. That's going to be paving the way for Gulf of Mexico frontal boundary that's expected to get near by Saturday afternoon. Could bring us a couple of isolated showers, but the high behind that will reinforce the conditions we've been having for the last couple of days, so we're looking at some good weather for next week. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your weekend forecast is still to come.
Coming up in sports, Evans Julmus gets an opportunity to learn from the best officials in the CONCACAF region. We'll tell you all about it.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
Each week, we go into the heart of our second city and talk to the people helping to shape this community.
This is what makes me happy to come to work every day, to know that I'm helping someone.
These are the faces of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, helping to maintain infrastructure, grow the economy, and bring a better quality of life.
Our mission statement is to better the life.
Because I have to be a part of Grand Bahama.
Join me at Talia Hall every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. right here on Our News as we share these inspiring stories of Freeport.
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Martinut. Let's do show. Recently certified as a FIFA match official, Evans Julmus had an opportunity to learn from the top officials in the CONCACAF region. Julmus was one of several new officials to attend the CONCACAF refereeing seminar in Costa Rica. The event brought together prospective and experienced referees alongside technical and fitness instructors. Both theoretical and practical sessions gave these new referees high-level training for their development. It was also meant to prepare them for upcoming tournaments such as the CONCACAF Nations League Final Four, the Champions Cup, and the Gold Cup.
The UB Mingos improved to 7-2 in a hard-fought win as the Bahamas Football Association Men's League continues. Center midfielder Ronaldo Green led UB with 2 first-half goals, and captain Marlon Barnes scored a penalty kick in the second half to give them the victory.
It was a tough game. Hats off to Future Stars. They gave us a run for our money. Obviously, we played a better team, but there was a few deciding moments what brought them back in the game, and I think we could go back to the drawing board and work on that.
The Mingos continue play Sunday against the Western Warriors Titans at 7 p.m.
DeAndre Ayton and the Portland Trail Blazers are turning things around in the Rose City and picked up their 6th win in their last 7 games Thursday night. Ayton finished with 22 points and 8 rebounds in the Blazers' 119-90 win over the Orlando Magic at the Moda Center in Portland. He shot 10 for 12 from the field and added 3 steals. After a 5-game losing streak earlier in the month, the Blazers have won 6 of their last 7, with their only loss against the conference-leading Oklahoma City Thunder. And your 10YS Plays of the Week. That'll do it for Our Sports. Stay tuned to Our News at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as the U.S. not backing down. Tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China start tomorrow. Plus, a successful ceasefire as Hamas releases still images of hostages being transferred. And the stunning images of a truck swallowed by a sinkhole in Japan. When our news returns.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the Our News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
Each week, we go into the heart of our second city and talk to the people helping to shape this community.
This is what makes me happy to come to work every day, to know that I'm helping someone.
These are the faces of the Grand Bahama Port Authority.
This is Our News. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. The U.S. will slap a 25% tariff on Canada and Mexico, plus 10% on China starting Saturday, according to White House spokesperson Caroline Leavitt on Friday. When asked, Leavitt could not confirm whether exemptions are possible.
Those tariffs will be for public consumption in about 24 hours tomorrow, so you can read them then. Canada, Mexico, and China, which, as I mentioned, President Trump will implement a 10% tariff on China, have all enabled illegal drugs to pour into America. The amount of fentanyl that has been seized at the southern border in the last 2 years alone has the potential to kill tens of millions of Americans. And so the president is intent on doing this, and I think Justin Trudeau would be wise to talk to President Trump directly before pushing outlandish comments like that to the media.
Meanwhile, Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau vows a swift and strong reaction if the U.S. imposes a threatened 25% tariff on Canadian imports set to take effect tomorrow. Speaking Friday, Trudeau warned of tough times ahead if President Trump follows through.
Now, we don't know precisely what that could look like, but I do know two things. First, if the president does choose to implement any tariffs against Canada, we're ready with a response. A purposeful, forceful, but reasonable, immediate response. That if tariffs are implemented against Canada, we will respond. We won't relent until tariffs are removed, and of course, everything is on the table.
In a tense handover on Thursday, Hamas and Islamic Jihad released still images of Israeli hostages Arbel Yehud and Jadi Moses being transferred to Red Cross vehicles in Gaza. 29-year-old Yehud was abducted on October 7, 2023, and 80-year-old Moses was also taken that day. 3 Israelis and 5 Thai nationals were freed, but Israel delayed a reciprocal release of Palestinian prisoners after chaotic scenes at the exchange site. A 5-meter deep sinkhole swallowed a truck in Japan's Saitama Prefecture on Tuesday, leaving a 74-year-old man trapped and unresponsive, according to national broadcaster NHK. Rescuers pulled out the trailer, but a second sinkhole opened nearby early Wednesday. Authorities are warning of potential gas leaks and more collapses, urging residents to evacuate within 200 meters. A supermarket that accepts dollars has opened in Havana, part of growing dollarization in the communist-led Cuba. The government is short of foreign currency, which it says it wants to use to fund social programs. Lucy Fielder reports.
This is the first grocery store to accept hard US currency in Cuba in nearly 2 decades. Open just a few weeks, it's part of the growing use of the dollar in the communist-run country, where just 4 years ago, banks stopped accepting cash deposits in greenbacks. The shop lies in the shadow of a new hotel complex near the sea in Havana's Miramar neighborhood, which is popular with foreign diplomats. William Fernandez, one of the lucky few to have dollars, praised the store.
The dollar is always going to circulate here in the whole country. The dollars that come in can be used here because you don't have to be exchanging money to get other products in other ways. Here it is easier to buy, and we get everything here.
Cuba's government hopes dollar stores will reap some of the remittances that enter the country and allow it to use that hard cash to underwrite social programs like free healthcare and subsidized food, energy and transportation. Relations between Havana and Washington took a turn for the worse this week, when US President Donald Trump reversed measures brought in by the Biden administration to make it easier for Cuba to acquire dollars. That's likely to make the dollar crunch more severe. Here's economist Omar Evelani.
The country has a shortage of foreign currency, and therefore the quickest way to make up for this shortage is to accept dollars again, because the dollars that were already deposited at other times in the banks no longer exist.
But the growing availability of goods and services in dollars versus the local peso underscores growing inequality between those with and without access to foreign currency. Odispel Saavedra Hernandez said she receives US dollars from her husband abroad to feed her children.
I hope these supermarkets spread throughout the country, but that other people can also have the same benefits as me, because there are people who do not have dollars and cannot acquire the products.
Cuban officials have said the partial dollarization that kicked off a year ago is tough medicine, but necessary to fix the island's economy.
Still to come on Our News, Today in History. Find out interesting facts about the day that was January 31st. Then in Our News at 7:30. Workers pick through the rubble after a devastating fire gutted a beloved Camp Road Community Center. Helpless residents now asking, how do we rebuild and where do we turn next? Plus, a local leader credits a recent drop in Camp Road crime to a murdered mentor's positive influence. Find out where his impact was greatest in the neighborhood when Our News returns.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands. Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
Unleash resilience. Secure the digital future. Navigate the evolving landscape of cyber threats.
On this day in Bahamian history in 1903, Charles Trevor Kelly was born in Harbor Island, Eleuthera. Kelly was a politician, businessman, government administrator, and land developer. As a member of parliament, he represented the Eleuthera constituency after winning the seat in 1956 as an independent candidate, and then as a member of the United Bahamian Party, UBP, in 1962. Kelly is also credited for helping build the first Paradise Island Bridge, known as the Eastern Bridge, and creating Kelly Island, now known as Arawak Key. He died in 1994 at the age of 91. Then on January 31st, 2006, Paul Adderley stepped down as acting Governor General after he was appointed to the post upon the resignation of Dame Ivy Dumont in November 2005. Adderley was first elected to the House of Assembly in 1962, representing the Western District of New Providence as a member of the Progressive Liberal Party. In 1965, he left the PLP and formed his own political party, the National Democratic Party, NDP, before returning to the PLP in 1972. The former cabinet minister was also the country's first and longest-serving attorney general, serving from 1973 to 1989. He died in September 2012 at the age of 84. 2 years later, in June 2014, the building which houses the AG's office was named in his honor.
Well, as we head into the month of love starting tomorrow, longtime writer and producer Corel Pinder is bringing her highly acclaimed stage play, The Affair, back to the stage. And although the play is faith-based, she says audience members of all beliefs will walk away with a relatable message.
It's about a young woman. Her name is Tiffany. She's celebrating her 40th birthday, like a lot of 85 babies. And there are a lot of secrets and scandals that are threatening to ruin the celebration and so much more. And so it's a play that's about love. It's about faith. There's a little bit of scandal, but there is a great story and a message of just understanding a lot of those things that happen in Bahamian society. You know, we say affair, but sweetheartin', that happens a lot in the Bahamian society, and just how it unfolds, how it impacts everybody, and what that looks like.
The Affair debuted late last year and even had a showing in Grand Bahama. She says the play was so well received, bringing it back was a must.
When we did the production the first time, a lot of audiences were really excited. They felt like the show was really relatable. They connected to it. And so a lot of people asked for us to bring it back. We did it one night only, and we competed with a lot that was going on around the holiday season. And so we thought it would good the final run to do this weekend. So if you are single, married, dating, this is the show you should come to. It happens this Friday and Saturday at Bahamas Harvest at 8 o'clock. Tickets are $40 for general and $60 for VIP.
Now to watch that story again and for all of today's top stories, be sure to visit ournews.bs. That does it for our news at 7. Joining us now is our Italia Hall with the latest headlines. Italia.
Thanks so much, Megan. TGIF.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's been a long week.
For sure. Well, coming up, we'll tell you about the new ownership bringing fresh energy to Junkanoo Village Beach Club on Grand Bahama. Plus, KB set to take the stage this weekend. Here are your latest headlines. First tonight on our news live at 7:30, a massive fire in the Kemp Road community has left the Sutton Street Community Center heartbroken. Tonight, our Delvado Emmanuel speaks with eyewitnesses. Also, more than a dozen lots have been cleared across the city. While government initiatives claim to enhance community safety, critics worry about environmental damage. Our Berting McDermott explores both sides of the controversy tonight. Plus, Teen Challenge Executive Director Eric Fox credits a recent drop in crime on Kemp Road to the lasting influence of Mario Ridge Brown, tragically ambushed last Sunday. Fox reflects on Brown's positive impact on young men in the community. And later, in a coordinated operation dubbed Takedown, authorities seized 40 pounds of marijuana valued at $41,000 from a Grand Bahama warehouse. 2 men aged 62 and 29 have been taken into custody as the investigation continues. The story when our news at 7:30 returns.
week, we go into the heart of our second city and talk to the people helping to shape this community.
This is what makes me happy to come to work every day, to know that I'm helping someone.
These are the faces of the Grand Bahama Port Authority helping to maintain infrastructure, grow the economy, and bring a better quality of life.
Our mission statement is to better the life. Because I have to be a part of Grand Bahama.
Join me, Italia Hall, every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. right here on Our News as we share these inspiring stories of Freeport. Stay with the team you already trust.
Hey guys, Megan Shepherd here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Just click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so you stay up to date with content like this from the team you already trust.
Joshua Williams here. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that follow.
Welcome to our news. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Italia Hall. A devastating fire has destroyed the Sutton Street Community Center in the Camp Road community, leaving the neighborhood in shock. Tonight, we hear from witnesses and the center's devastated manager. Our Delvado Emmanuel has a story.
We couldn't save nothing. We lost everything inside the fire. We had computers, we had clothes for the kids, bicycles, we had everything inside the house.
This teddy bear, along with piles of charred clothing, are all that remains of the LJ's Cottage Hilltop Community Center after an afternoon blaze swept through the community, leaving behind nothing but rubble. Now, Community Center Manager Pastor Laura Taylor described those harrowing moments as flames engulfed everything in its sight.
They were here for afternoon classes, and we were still distributing care packages to whoever were requiring care packages. And I went inside the house, and when I listened, I heard a banging on the door, say, come on, come on, come on.
And that's when she witnessed her life's work go up in flames. The blaze, which erupted just before 4 p.m., sent plumes of smoke billowing across the eastern skies of New Providence. Scores of Camp Road residents watched helplessly as their beloved safe haven was engulfed in flames. For years, the center has been a lifeline for the community, offering essential services such as after-school programs, food distributions, and counseling. Taylor describes it as a second home.
Anybody who needs help, we can help them. If we can't help them, we partner with people that we refer them to. So the whole Camp Road community come to us, and we are just here for them.
Today, I revisited the scene as community centers workers were trying to pick up the pieces of what remains.
It's a hurtful thing. We are a nation. We here to care for the people and the children. And to do that right now, we need help.
Despite the loss, Pastor Taylor remains hopeful.
I feel numb, but I'm still trusting God. I'm still trusting God.
All right, such a sad story. Well, crime fighting initiative or environmental nightmare? That's the question being asked after more than a dozen lots have been cleared down in recent weeks. While some of it is due to government initiatives, there's a concern about the environmental impact. Our Berthany McDermott explores both sides of the matter.
From Cowpen Road in the south to the over-the-hill communities to Prince Charles Drive in the east, areas that was once home to trees and other natural vegetation have been cleared down. But what does this mean for the environment? Former Bahamas National Trust Executive Director and One Consultant's President and CEO Eric Carey explains how losing vegetation hurts the environment.
You are negatively impacting the amount of carbon dioxide that the trees can absorb, therefore, helping to contribute to cleaner air, reducing the impacts of climate change, etc.
In areas like Over the Hill, government launched its Clear, Hold and Build project last year. The clear stage means overgrown lots will be cleared down. At the time, law enforcement officers explained that these areas are sometimes used to carry out criminal acts like stashing illegal firearms or even drugs. Housing and Urban Renewal Minister Keith Bell explains the next steps for the areas.
The second stage is to hold the property, and what we are doing now, we're in the process of communicating with a number of owners. And what we have also done is we have asked the government to compulsory acquire the property. So as it stands right now, we have some 40 properties that we're in the process of compulsory acquiring.
But Carey seems to believe there are other ways to address the issue without clearing down bushes.
We should look at each case on its own and each location on its own, and maybe instead of clearing every lot, fully clearing every lot, maybe we could go in and do an underbrush.
But then there are
areas like this one, outside of the inner city, that's been almost completely cleared down. In some instances, trash fills the areas. We spoke with State Minister for the Environment, Zane Lightburn. He says they're looking into the matter to ensure there isn't any severe damage.
We noticed that in some areas that there's more clearing than others, but trees are being reserved in particular areas, especially on, I think Prince Charles is one of the most obvious.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
All right, thanks for that story, Berthany. While Teen Challenge Executive Director Eric Fox says there was a drop in crime in the Camp Road community recently due to the positive impact of Mario Brown, a.k.a. Ridge. Brown was tragically killed in Camp Road last Sunday just after 10 a.m. He was shot multiple times when a group of armed men ambushed him outside a Cooper's Terrace home. Fox says he knew Brown for many years, adding his influence was felt most among young men.
I've seen the transformation taking place in his life, where he started to influence the young people, young men in particular in the community, for positive stuff. They would go to him with minor disputes, and if you've noticed over the last, I'd say a couple of years now, a year and a half or so, you notice there were very little reports of violence, shootings and stuff within the Camp Road community. It has a lot to do with his influence, calming things down and being able to reason with the young men and teach them how to settle their differences.
Earlier this week, National Security Minister Wayne Munro said Brown was a positive influence despite having a troubled past. Today, Fox also commended Munro for his work with Brown in recent years, adding that the community has been hurt by his death. Brown had several pending court cases, including a 2019 murder charge and a 2024 firearms charge, but it seems he made a turnaround.
Society likes to hold on to people's past. They like to hold on to your past because that gives them something to hold on to. But I've seen a transformation taking place in a lot of young men, given the opportunity. I'm even talking with myself.
All right, well, a diving trip turned deadly for an American visitor. Police say the 50-year-old woman was on a diving excursion around 2 p.m. on Thursday when she began having issues in the water. She was taken back onto a boat but lost consciousness. She died a few hours later in hospital. And two men are behind bars tonight after a $40,000 drug bust in a Grand Bahama warehouse. Police say 40 pounds of marijuana was seized. The drugs have an estimated street value of $41,000. The operation, dubbed Takedown, happened between 3 a.m. and 1 p.m. on Thursday and involved officers from the Anti-Gang and Firearms Task Force, the Airport and Harbor Division, the K-9 Unit, and the Bahamas Customs Department. During the operation, officers searched a warehouse and found the marijuana. Two men ages 62 and 29 were arrested. A woman accused of instigating a shooting has been granted a $15,000 bail. Felicia Pinder faces an abetment to attempted murder charge after prosecutors say she called 31-year-old Venel Santamar after she had a row with a man at a bar on Rosedale Street on January 3rd. When he arrived, Santamar allegedly shot at Caro Green and Andre Thompson. Switching gears now, turning to weather. We saw sunny skies for the most part of the day, but we're still feeling those cool temperatures in the capital. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look at weather. Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Natalia, and welcome everybody for a quick check on conditions around the islands for this last day of January 2025. 74 degrees is our current temperature outside our studios with a few clouds. The winds are out of the east-southeast at 15 miles per hour, so we have a bit of a breeze out there. Field strike temperature is at 73. Satellite radar composite, quiet across area. Ridge of high pressure is in charge. That ridge will continue to keep us a bit on the dry side, but that ridge will start to slide out tonight through tomorrow. That's all ahead of a frontal boundary in the Gulf of Mexico that we expect to get in here by Saturday afternoon. Could bring us a couple of spotty showers, but the high behind that will continue to reinforce the nice conditions we've been having for the last couple of days. That's a quick check on conditions around the islands. Stick with us. Look at your weekend forecast. It's still to come.
Still to come on our news, Grand Bahamas economy gets a boost as the Junkanoo Village Beach Club Bar and Grill reopens near Island Seas Resort under new ownership, promising renewed vibrancy for the local hospitality scene. Also on February 4th, Mammogram Access Organization is spearheading a series of awareness and screening initiatives to combat breast cancer, proudly recognizing 2025 sponsors like Jarrell Investments. And later, the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated chapter in Freeport
Freeport recently commemorated its 117th Founders Day with a series of community initiatives. A standout event was a sophisticated jazz brunch at the Grand Lucine Resort. That's all coming up when our news returns.
Hear that? If you listen closely, you can hear the heartbeat of a nation. That unique sound of a great country pounding with colorful history, a rich culture, and unwavering ambition. When you look around, you recognize its pulse. The people who love to celebrate, who identify with triumph, a people who know how to be our brother's keeper. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians. Bahamians helping Bahamians.
No. Hey, look, KFC has an incredible promo.
I already had that for lunch.
Ooh.
Crunch your hunger cravings and satisfy the whole family with KFC bucket meals starting at just $20. Get freshly prepared golden fried chicken, buttery biscuits, and add your favorite large sides. Bucket meals starting at just $20. KFC, finger licking good.
Diet-friendly special.
Another boost to Grand Bahamas economy with the grand reopening of the Junkanoo Village Beach Club Bar and Grill, now under new ownership near the Island Seas Resort in Freeport. New owner Carlton Forbes shared that his father envisioned owning a beach club over 13 years ago, a dream that has now become a reality.
We made arrangements with the cruise lines, and we want to prove to them that we have the ability to take care of as many passengers as they can throw to us. We're going to work hard for it. We know there's competition out there, but we aim to be the best location on Grand Bahama to have our guests come to us, and we take care of them like there's nobody else can do it.
And the new owner says the response from the public has been positive, with the beach club offering a variety of experiences from entertainment to authentic local dishes.
Here we have all the Bahamian food that you can muster up: peas and rice, conch salad, conch. We have conch and grits on certain days. We have lobsters. I think we have some of the best lobsters on the island. Trust me on that one. And the chef inside the kitchen, man, when she put her foot in that, you can forget it.
Well, February 4th is recognized globally as World Cancer Day, a time dedicated to raising awareness and promoting early detection and treatment. In Grand Bahama, the Mammogram Access organization is leading the charge with a series of awareness and screening initiatives aimed at supporting patients both financially and educationally. As a part of this year's observance, Mammogram Access is recognizing its 2025 sponsors, including title sponsor Jarrell Investments. In partnership with the Sabrina Brown radio show hosted by veteran journalist and cancer survivor Sabrina Brown, a substantial donation has been made to increase cancer awareness among residents. Mammogram Access founder Nakira Watson-Sand says education remains the first line of defense against breast cancer.
If you are diagnosed at a stage 1 or a stage 2, you have a 99% chance of survival. So the best way that we could help patients is not to support cancer, but support good health. And Mammogram Access program is here to support good breast health, because that is the best way that we can support not cancer, but the actual patient itself themselves.
Meanwhile, marketing manager at Jarrell Investments, Karen Wilson, reaffirmed the company's commitment to helping those throughout the community.
Jarrell has always stepped in. I mean, we prefer to save a life than to spend money stupidly. You know what I mean? We prefer donations to something that's gonna save a life.
All right, still on the island of Grand Bahama, the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated Phi Epsilon Omega chapter in Freeport commemorated its 117th Founders Day earlier this month. To honor this milestone, the Grand Bahama chapter planned a series of community-driven initiatives. One of the standout events was their sophisticated jazz brunch held at the Grand Lucine Resort, which brought together members and supporters. President Sasha Roll highlighted a few of their service projects, one of them a book donation drive for the Children's Unit at the Rand Memorial Hospital and other initiatives.
Recently, we launched our CHIP program, which is an initiative that we partner with the Holmes Rock Primary School, where we provide meals for the students on the weekends. So we know we have the lunch program, which is through the week, but we want to make sure that they also have something to eat on the weekend, and we have been doing that with Holmes Rock for a year now.
We also spoke with chapter member Chanel Johnson, who says it was an uplifting event.
It also allowed persons to see that the mission of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated is service to all mankind. And I am truly happy for the outpouring of support, love, and encouragement that we received today.
When our news comes back from the break ahead of his concert this weekend, our Daniel Miller sits down with a musical legend to discuss his influence on Bahamian music.
Coming up in sports, we get started on the soccer pitch, head to the NBA, and bring it all together with the 10YS Plays of the Week.
Plus, we enjoyed sunny skies today, but be prepared for a cool evening. Greg is back with your extended forecast when our news returns. Stay with us.
Welcome to Paradise Games, where exceptional service meets the ultimate gaming experience. Our dedicated team is here to make every visit a win.
Now this is paradise.
This is more than just a place to play.
Now this is paradise.
It's where excitement meets world-class service.
Now this is paradise.
Now this is paradise.
Come, experience it for yourself. Now this is paradise.
Wendy's and Coca-Cola is ready to give you a summer of fun with over $20,000 in cash and prizes. Upgrade your premium lunch combo to a medium or a large, or purchase a large salad with a Coke for a chance to win amazing prizes. Like a 50-inch TV and soundbar, a staycation at Comfort Suites, or a $3,000 Going Places travel voucher. Enter online at Wendy's Bahamas Facebook page for a chance to win.
I love my EV. I am Generation E.
I am Generation E. I am Generation E.
And I am Generation E.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Marknut. Let's do show. Recently certified as a FIFA match official, Evans Julmus had an opportunity to learn from the top officials in the CONCACAF region. Julmus was one of several new officials to attend the CONCACAF refereeing seminar in Costa Rica. The event brought together prospective and experienced referees alongside technical and fitness instructors. Both theoretical and practical sessions gave these new referees high-level training for their development.
We got to see them in the classroom session, we got to do video sessions with them, we got to train with them, and we also got to eat meals with them and get to see how do they work professionally, how they work in training sessions, how they work in classroom sessions. So it can give us a feel of what it's like to be FIFA and what FIFA demands day in and day out.
It was also meant to prepare them for upcoming tournaments such as the CONCACAF Nations League Final Four, the Champions Cup, and the Gold Cup.
The UB Mingos improved to 7-2 in a hard-fought win as the Bahamas Football Association Men's League continues. Center midfielder Ronaldo Green led UB with 2 first-half goals, and captain Marlon Barnes scored a penalty kick in the second half to give them the victory. Green scored on a left-foot strike for the game's first goal in the 25th minute. He scored his second goal of the game and 12th of the season in the 41st minute to give UB a 2-0 lead.
It was a tough game. Hats off to Future Stars. They gave us a run for our money. Obviously, we were the better team, but there was a few deciding moments what brought them back in the game, and I think we could go back to the drawing board and work on that.
Barnes scored his 8th goal of the season for UB's only goal in the second half, and goalkeeper Antonio Beckford preserved the win with several penalty kick saves down the stretch. The Mingos continue play Sunday against the Western Warriors Titans at 7 p.m.
DeAndre Ayton and the Portland Trail Blazers are turning things around in the Rose City and picked up their 6th win in their last 7 games Thursday night. Ayton finished with 22 points and 8 rebounds in the Blazers' 119-90 win over the Orlando Magic at the Moda Center in Portland. He shot 10 for 12 from the field and added 3 steals. After a 5-game losing streak earlier in the month, the Blazers have won 6 of their last 7, with their only loss against the conference-leading Oklahoma City Thunder. With one of the youngest rosters in the league, Ayton has stepped into a leadership role for the franchise.
I'm a dude who has a lot of energy, and I want the best for people. So, and if they're on the court with me, I know how to make you better. So, I mean, it's a thing you have to accept. You know, if you want to be a student of the game, you know what's right and you know what's wrong. And it's just my challenge for these dudes is helping them just be consistent.
It's the last Friday of a month that felt like it dragged on forever. Let's head into the weekend with top plays. At number 5, Dayton Albury with a clutch 3 to lift Utah State to a win over UNLV. We'll see this again in March.
At number 4, VJ Edgecombe puts his defender on skates, finishes with the left-hand floater.
We'll see this again in March too. At number 3, Kingsway Academy's Kimani Roberts with a poster, and I don't know how that defender goes back to school, but best wishes.
At number 2, Kai Jones shows why he's a point forward. Takes the ball coast to coast, finishes with the slam.
And coming in at number 1, Denisha Cartwright, her first pro meet, 60-meter hurdles world leading time of 7.78 seconds. I think she's gonna be alright at this pro thing. That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. What you got up for this weekend?
I'm gonna go watch a play called The Affair. Showtime's at 8.
The real Showtime was on Bay last night. Go Giants. Back to the studio.
Still ahead on our news tonight, ahead of his concert this weekend, our Daniel Miller sits down with a musical legend to discuss his influence on Bahamian music. And Greg is back with your extended weather forecast when our news continues. Stay with us.
We're here at the Nassau Village Community.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the Our News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
Technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiency.
This is Our News. Welcome back. Ridge of high pressure in charge. That's keeping us rather quiet. That ridge continuing to dominate us with some dry air mass across the area. Not much in terms of any clouds or any precipitation throughout the day and into tonight. That high will slide off towards the east. That's going to be paving the way for this front boundary in the Gulf of Mexico. That we expect to get near sometime late Saturday into Saturday night. And that could bring us a few spotty showers, but most of the tail end of that front is falling apart. Most of the activity pulling towards the north and east. High pressure behind that will continue to reinforce the nice conditions we've been having over the last couple of days. So we're looking at very good conditions for the upcoming week. Future forecast showing quiet conditions across the area through Friday night and into Saturday. As I mentioned, that front will fall apart. Most of the activity staying out there in the open Atlantic by Saturday afternoon, approaching the northwest Bahamas. We could see a return of some moisture across the area, so 1 or 2 showers likely in the forecast, but nothing to talk about during that time frame. Boating forecast, northwest and central Bahamas. Seas improving somewhat. The swells are still out there, so we're asking small craft to use caution in the Atlantic side as well as rip current risk. Southeast to south winds at 15 knots tonight. They will be falling 10 to 15 knots tomorrow. Seas 3 to 5 feet, up to 6 feet in these east to southeasterly swells. Tide will be high at 9:19 tonight. Low tide take place at 3:29 in the morning. Southeast Bahamas, caution fly for you guys down there as well. Stiffer winds, mainly out of the east, 15 to 20 knots. Seas running 4 to 7 feet in easterly swells. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, beautiful conditions expected for the weekend. Temperatures will take a bit of a uptick for tomorrow, just ahead of that front, 80 degrees. But once the front goes through, Sunday and Monday, we're looking at some 70s, and then we will be returning back to those 80s for Tuesday throughout the remainder of the week. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night and have a great weekend, everybody.
All right, looks good. Thanks so much, Greg. Well, Bahamian music, Sweet A, is an expression most of us have heard. In the rake and scrape genre, songs like Bush Mechanic, Civil Servant, and Toters are staples in the industry, and all of them are sung by one artist. Well, ahead of his concert this weekend, our Daniel Miller spoke to the musical legend. Let's take a look.
Hey, KB here, and there's nothing for the cuckoo soup. No cure for the cuckoo soup.
Kirkland Bodie, better known as KB, is a Bahamian musician who has produced timeless hits spanning decades. Like my personal favorite, She Jump.
You know when HU was around when that was around, when it first came out.
I was born in 92.
No, but that song came out before you were born.
In recent years, KB has forged a partnership with Keep the Vibe Alive music group, which is dedicated to preserving Bahamian music and providing a platform for Bahamian artists. This Saturday night, the music group and Bahamian icon will host the popular concert, KB and Friends, at the farm located on Marshall Road. Sharing the stage with legends like Gino D, Sweet Emily, Ancient Man, and rising stars such as Mama D, Avi, Fan Sean, and so much more.
Guests came from Uganda rehearsals last night, but I restored them, and it's going to be great, man. And again, the kind of crowd that shows up and you feed off of them, they give you that love and they show you that they appreciate their Bahamian music, their rake and scrape music. It's nothing better.
Are you ready to scull it? For more information, visit Keep the Vibe Alive on social media platforms. Reporting for Our News, I'm Danielle Miller.
All right, thanks so much, Denny. Nice report. And thank you for joining us for Our News tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening. Hi, and thank you for watching. I'm Natalia Hall. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to see more content from the team you already trust.